So today was kind of a disaster.
We are the Crawfords. We have 6 kids and are hiking the Appalachian Trail, a 2,200-mile hike from Georgia to Maine. We don't know if we can finish it, but we are doing it together.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Are you saying bye?
We are back on the trail after 2 full days, 0 days of no hiking. It feels good right now to be back on. It's also weird, it feels like it's been forever. We got quite a bit of miles to do today. I think we're trying to get like 19 in.
Taking those 2 zeros was really nice. We hadn't taken a 0 since, I think, like a full 0 since Easter. So it was good to have that break. We had lunch at Panera, or we brought lunch from Panera, and that was really, really fun because it just reminded me a lot of home and goals meetings, I guess. People we stayed with were really nice and very hospitable.
They had a really big comfy chair right next to the fish tank, which I really enjoyed sitting there just watching the fish.
Taking those 2 0 days was really helpful for me because since I have to edit the videos, I don't get as much sleep as everyone else because I stay up really late. So I feel like I was really tired while we were hiking and I almost fell asleep during it. And then when we got to this place, I took a lot of naps during the day and now I feel nice and rested.
Taking the 0 days was really fun because all of us were like sick and stuff. So yeah, that was kind of helpful.
It's hard to describe how ideal this scenario was for the last couple days. We shared a tiny bit about it in the last update, but this family that lives here, Jordan and Kristen, they picked us up. He like worked at a running store. So like he was the perfect guy to help get us sized for the shoes that we needed. And then we find out he's actually an ultra runner. So he's registered for a 200-mile race in August in Washington, our home state. So this guy does like marathons for training for fun, which means they live right on the Appalachian Trail. So this 70 miles of trail that goes right by their house, he's like, oh, if you need anything, if you need pizzas, like, I'll just bring them to you. Like, cause he can stop at any road and like, he's like saying, oh, I'll just run 10 miles and bring you the food or whatever you want, just send me a list. It's almost like dangerous. And not only that, he's a physical therapist, like a doctor. So Filia's feet were hurting. And because this guy knows like ultra running, and I've always wanted to meet an ultra runner, he was like taping up her feet and just like hooking her up. It's like unbelievable. And all of this was because he's friends with Bill. And Bill, I'm gonna introduce you guys to again, because having spent a couple days with Bill at Jordan's house really made us like get to know him better. And it's really funny meeting people on the trail, because at first meeting people or traveling with people sounded like really intimidating. It's like, oh, who do you choose, or how do you know it's the right person to travel with? But in our case, we just got these like offers from people after seeing them on the trail for even like months. A rock? Oh, you want one of those rocks over there? If I get him one, by the way, he wants 2. Anyways, it has just worked out, and we're gonna be traveling for the next 4 days with Bill because Jordan and his wife offered to pick us up in 4 days to stay at their house again for Shabbat. As promised, this is Bill. So Bill, tell us about your story and how you decided to do the Appalachian Trail.
It's really easy for me. The Appalachian Trail is sacred ground with my friends and family. I've hiked parts of it for years and years, but at the very beginning, I can remember being in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, and my scoutmaster told all of us Boy Scouts, me and my buddies, that if you look that way, you can go all the way to Maine, to the north. If you turn this way, you can go south all the way to Georgia. At that instant, I just knew I wanted to do it all. I was 11 years old, so I've done the canal many times, but I've never done from Maine to Georgia, and I knew that as soon as I stepped on it, it was 11 years old. I knew I was going to do it. It was just a matter of figuring out when. So it is sacred ground, and these have been glorious times. Even the hard times have been glorious.
So how old are you now?
I'm 67.
So how long have you been planning to do it this year?
I sort of knew that when I've been blessed with really fabulous dream jobs that I didn't really want to quit, but now that I knew that as I was getting closer to the retirement age, my wife, and this was her dream too, unfortunately she's had some injuries that have kept her off, but we were planning about this time for as we got closer, 5, 4, 3, 2, just knowing that it was going to happen. But at 11 years old, I knew I was going to do it.
Partied hard last night.
For lunch today, we're having Panera baguette, leftover sausage from this morning, and tangerines and butter.
Done 6.5 miles already. It's lunchtime, just finished lunch. We want to get about 14 more. I guess most of our climbing for the day is done. I'm finding our cheap, while we're hiking, cigars, I think is what's going to end up being. We left all the other cigars back at the place because we're going to go there in 4 days.
So we're doing like ultralight.
Ultralight.
We only brought 10 cigars. Honey berry.
All natural leaf wrapper.
Backwoods doesn't make pretty cigars. Instead, we make the best cigars we can. We start with aged broadleaf wrappers for a naturally sweet flavor and a dark Maduro color. Mmm. Give me a little review.
They're tasty. I like it.
All right, we gotta go catch up with the kids now.
We're hiking on this ridge, been on here for a little while, and it's just starting to rain. Whoa.
Shelter?
Yeah.
Oh, you see it down there?
Yeah.
There it is.
Eat
I think we might be staying here.
my toes.
Me and Eden switched gas canisters while we were taking our 0 days because I was gonna take the full one and she was just gonna leave the empty one. But we forgot to switch the caps and the cap connects to the stove. So we basically didn't have a stove for dinner because I forgot to take the cap. but Bill saved us and we're using his stove. We're having freeze-dried food.
Leaving the parking lot today, Memory and Filia were saying they felt sick. They were already kind of feeling sick. But then like 3 hours ago, we're just like taking a snack break and Eden just like leans over and barfs like on the trail. So we still had to walk to get to camp. And then like an hour ago, Bill started barfing like a lot. And I feel so bad because it obviously came from us.
Yeah.
And like you want to help someone, but there's just like nothing you can do.
Yeah.
It's pretty helpless being out in the woods watching people barf. We did 20.3 miles today, which seems kind of dumb given that everyone's sick, but actually I think is still good because given what we knew when we left this morning, I feel like we did the best with what we could.
I think for most of the day, people were feeling like okay, at least like okay, like not, and then like the last 2 hours, they got sick. And
most people that have got this, we've seen it work its way through in about 12 hours. So we're hoping we'll wake up and everyone will feel fine. If people don't, no idea.
hitchhike.
So,
Yeah.
at least we had pinwheels for dessert tonight. Yeah, so that's kind of why we didn't film a lot today, because people are barfing and we were just trying to take care of them and not pull out the camera. Anyways.
Eden, can you do that again? So far, Ben and I are the only ones who have not gotten this. Hopefully, it'll stay that way.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.